suicide happened because of the student or maybe his friends or maybe the parental pressure or maybe due to academic pressure. If you don't do this, then you are a failure. If you don't get into IIT, then you are a failure. If you don't do this, you'll be a failure. What are you even doing? Like YouTube? That was like the typical reaction of all of my friends. I've never seen one of my videos doing less than 100k. I don't like anything about that. And then some of them were also like, yeah, YouTube videos.
Right.
And the same people call me right now saying, hey, my brother wants to talk to you. Storytelling was... You should first talk to the person, talk to the people who have already done it. Learn from their mistakes and everything and then get started.
Baba Tharun Das, Chanchad. Mr. Tharun, how are you?
Okay, I'm just okay.
You're just okay?
Yeah.
How's life in Bangalore?
Bangalore, it's good. It's not good.
But how is life after graduating from IIT Kharagpur?
See, I feel like being in an IIT or in any college, it's more like you're in a bubble. I mean, you have a huge ground for experimentation, but here it's like the real life. So I feel a bit more stressed out right now when compared to when I was in college. But rest apart, it's good. It's okay.
I watched your video. The way I discovered you was when you made a review of Alma Matters.
Correct.
So that's how I got to get to know about you. But do you think that people in IITs are like entitled, like when they graduate, and do they have this thing कि यार मैं तो IIT हूँ तो मुझे तो मिल ही जाएगा?
We kind of get like a fair advantage in the beginning when people introduce you or something like that. Like he's from IIT Kharagpur. Even if you're like a IIM graduate or something, you initially have like that kind of boost saying, oh, he's from IIT Ahmedabad, something like that. But after a while, people just consider your work. That's at the end of the day, your work matters more than your chobi titles. Doesn't matter much. But yeah, like fair point, it gives you an advantage, the initial boost. That's it.
Why is there like a huge number of suicides that happen in IITs? Tell me about that. Like, let's go deep into it. What do you think is the cause and what do you think needs to change?
See, I've not really spoken about this much. I mean, I made a couple of videos on this when the actual suicide happened.
I need the inside info into it.
Correct. So a lot of things happened, right? Like, despite of the fact the suicide happened because of the student or maybe his friends or maybe the parental pressure or maybe due to academic pressure, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, he's a student from IIT. IIT ka suicide, IIT mein suicide hua hai. That's what the news comes out to be. But most of the times it's usually not just related to IIT, I agree that there's a huge pressure when compared to other colleges in terms of academic load and project submission, deadlines, exams. There's so much going on every single day. Like, you'd be rated, you'd be compared. Even the grades, like are relative in most of the cases. But I don't think that acts like that has a huge pressure on students. Usually it's because of personal reasons or some other reasons, and mostly not due to ragging also.
Ragging culture is not there in IITs?
It is there, but very less. It's also not called ragging. It's
Share
called,
your experience. Senior, junior introduction, क्या बोलते हैं उसको?
It's called, initially it was called orientation program, and then it was called assimilation program. So the way ragging happens, it's not exactly ragging also. I'll first tell you the process. So there won't be any kind of ragging, there won't be any kind of senior interaction, or there'll just be like mentor-mentor interaction in the beginning when you get into an IIT during the first year. At least this is about IIT Kharagpur. So first year there's zero ragging, there's nothing. But the actual thing starts when you get into second year. Second year, that too not throughout the year. There'd be a phase. You'd be getting a mail called, you'd be having your assimilation program starting in a week. And this will typically go on for 7 days to 10 days. During that, you'll be called, like after the classes, after everything happens, like at 9, 10:30 or something like that, you'll be called into a room where second years would be there and then immediate seniors would be there. Or sometimes like fourth years, fifth years also would be there. And then there'd be, it's not a typical ragging, but they'll ask you for like your intro, they'll ask you for, there's a specific format for you to give your introduction. Like, you should say your name first, and then where are you from, this. If you miss the format, or even if you miss the order, or even if you miss anything, or even if your audio is like not up to the mark, you'll have to repeat it again. You shouldn't smile in the middle.
Poker face.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, it helps. Like after 7 days or after 10 days, you come out to be a new person.
So it was a fun experience, you're saying?
It's not a fun experience. It's not a fun experience.
So in BITS, what happened is that the first month, the seniors cannot meet the juniors. It's like that rule. So they cannot go to the hostels. Only if they come to their hostels of seniors, only then they can meet.
Got it.
So that prevents a lot of that from happening, I think. But anyways, that's a huge thing. One more thing is that a lot of your videos are watched by people who are either in like school or getting into college. Do you think that there is a huge like mental health problem with students who are always trying to get into the best colleges, who look up to you as you went into IIT and think like मुझे भी IIT में जाना है, but कई बार उनका नहीं होता है, so they feel depressed about that. अच्छे number नहीं आ रहे. What do you think? Does this happen? What can they do?
This actually happens. Like there's a huge pressure. At least like you, I, both of us were preparing for IIT Tag when we were in like 11th and 12th. So this pressure is obviously there because like you want to prove yourself, right? Like people would be like, if you don't do this, then you're a failure. If you don't get into IIT, then you're a failure. If you don't do this, you'll be a failure. So I mean, but on a grand scheme of things, do you think it matters? It doesn't.
It doesn't matter in the long run. Yeah. Not as much as they hype it to be.
Correct. And who hypes it?
The coaching centers.
Yeah. So we all know the correct. So we all know the answers. Like it's predominantly the hype. Not that getting into IIT is bad or something. If you can get into IIT, then it's good. But it doesn't matter if you don't. Like the grand scheme of things, at the end of the day, all that matters, at least right now, is the skills that you have. That's all. Like previously, people used to, like when lockdown initially came, people were behind certificates. Like online course, online course karo, online course karo, get certificates. You'll basically build a list of certificates that you have. But right now, like no one even asks you for a certificate. So I guess in a long run, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And majorly, whatever the mental health issues, all this, these things come because of the expectations set by parents, expectations set by the coaching institutes, the hype that coaching institutes build, all of these things.
What's your favorite memory from your IIT time? 5 years you spent.
Oh, so we're talking about it.
Uncensored.
It was majorly around when I was contesting for elections in IIT. So it was, I don't know what should I call it. So if you're someone who gets into IIT, then you contest for elections in an IIT or something. So basically you'll have to be groomed first before you get onto the stage and talk something, because you'll not just be representing yourself, you'll be representing your entire hostels or halls or something. So if you mess up on the stage, it's like the entire hall will have to face the consequences.
Right.
So they'll make sure that you won't miss. Like they'll literally train you for like 2 months. Okay, every single night you'll have to go into a room, seniors would be there. 10 p.m. it starts, morning 4 a.m., 5 a.m. every single day, and then you'll also have to manage classes, exams and all these things. I've seen every single contestant who has contested in elections in IIT Kharagpur, his CGPA usually drops down for like, if he's at 8, it'll come down to 7. If he's at 7, it'll come down to 6. So after managing all these things, doing all the preparation, the elections are about to get started in like a week. And then COVID hits and we are sent home. And the elections never happened. That was a disaster. I felt very bad, but can't do anything. And the second thing was I took this course under my Professor JC. Okay. And the course
the same professor who roasted you?
Yeah. The course went good. I got around A or B, I guess. Like 9 or 8 in the course. And I was like, thank you sir, the course got over, everything got over. And then suddenly I make a video about why no one should take mechanical engineering. I still believe it, like if you're getting into some core skills or something, right now the demand for mechanical engineers, the number, like if you consider the number, the number of mechanical engineers required in a society are very less.
Comparatively.
But the number of mechanical engineers that we are pushing into the society every single year are huge. So the supply is huge, the demand is very less. That's what I mentioned even in that video. I mean, I still believe whatever I said in that video is entirely true, 100% true. But then I get a mail from my professor saying, hey Tharun, good video. I've shared my response over it. And he mailed me. I was like, how can this happen? Like professor watching your videos is like a thing. And then watching and reacting and then making a... This was the second time, and then I met him in person after that. He's a really good guy, but Yeah, not everyone's thoughts has to align. Everyone has their own perspective.
When I went back to college last year, my hostel warden used to watch my videos. He was like, I've seen you on YouTube, you make videos and all. So that was an interesting experience. Anyways, how did you start with YouTube, and when did you know that this is it? This is it. And when did you make your first money?
I was predominantly into like internships and all when I got into college, because I wanted pocket money. I was into shoes and watches and all. So I was like, okay, I used to get like 5,000 or 5,500 every single month, which was not sufficient if you're buying something.
Into sneakers.
Yeah. So then I talked with a couple of seniors, and the seniors told me you can do internships to earn money. Then I went to internshala, like typical thing. Like you go to internshala, the first year of college, you search for internships and do a couple of content writing internships. So that was the first time when I made money. That was in my first year of college, first semester. But it was not much. It was around 10,000 a month, 12,000 a month, something like that. And after that, it was again internships in second year. First year, second year, it was majorly internships. And I never thought that I'll make a YouTube video or something, because even when I got my first laptop from my parents, the person asked like, do you want like an i7 processor or a normal wala bhi chalta hai? So I was like, okay, anything works. I didn't know what it was, so I asked him like, difference kya hota hai? If you're into video editing and all, then take a good processor wala thing. Video editing, I don't do it. And recently I launched a video editing course also.
Right.
So I mean, that's what, like, you plan something in the beginning, but I would say like the direction takes its own way. You just have to like keep doing things.
It took me 6 months to get to 17th of July 2020 when I made $1 on that day through the YouTube partner program. What was that like for you? Like?
It was basically third year of my college. I was at home because of COVID, and I didn't know what to do. I was like very free. Online classes, easy marks. You don't have to like struggle and all. And then I was doing an internship. And then I was watching this guy called Ali Abdal.
It's always Ali Abdal.
His video pops up to the screen. He says, how much money I made in 2020. And then comes MKBHD on Skillshare. He says, everyone should make YouTube videos. So I was predominantly watching a lot of YouTube. Then I thought, okay, I have a phone.
Are they also your favorite YouTubers, by the way?
Not really. I mean,
who do you look up to?
Currently, I mean, previously Casey Neistat, and then it was Peter McKinnon.
Daily vlogs. No.
Yeah. And for some time, when I just got started on YouTube, it was Ali Abdal. And right now, some filmmakers and all.
Yeah, back to the story that we were talking about.
Correct. So back to the story. I was like, okay, I have phone. I'll just get I didn't have a mic and all. Just a phone, normal phone. My brother got an iPhone. So I was like, okay, iPhone ka maybe people search. So I made a YouTube channel called Red Tick. Red Tick. T-I-C-K. So instead of a blue verified tick, I was like, okay, Red Tick.
Red Tick.
Yeah, and
that's very NSFW, but okay.
So I posted the video. I shared it to all my groups, friends and all. And that was the first time I was like, bro, views so aa gaye, but what the hell are people thinking about you? Like, Tharun, YouTube? You know, no one like, see, if you're studying in a IIT or something, and then right now like everyone are making YouTube videos, but back then
it wasn't the hip thing to do.
Yeah, like what are you even doing? Like YouTube, Q. That was like the typical reaction of all of my friends, and then some of them were also like, "Yeah, YouTube videos banata." Like,
Right.
And the same people call me right now saying, "Hey, my brother wants to talk to you." I mean, I understand, but it's not their mistake as well. Like, it's how everything was perceived back then. So that's how it started. We took around 2 months to get to 100 subscribers, and around 3.5 months to get to 500 subscribers. So I initially had a plan. Okay, let me have a plan for first 12 months. 12 months, 1,000 subscribers. That's what Ali Abdal also said in one of his videos. I was like, okay. So 3-4 months into the game, I was at 550 something. And then I've seen one of my friends make a video about IIT Kharagpur, that he went back to IIT Kharagpur and all. It was a huge hit on a very small channel. I was like, okay. I guess this is the opportunity. So what if this is the opportunity. So in the beginning, all I did was like typical Mr. Beast style videos. I didn't sleep for 100 hours. I did 1,000 push-ups. I did this, I did that. So I studied for 10 hours straight. I was taking up these challenges. They were doing quite like
Do
fairly
you still
good.
work out?
Not really, not in Bangalore.
Right.
I recently started last week, and then one of my friends went back to the college, so I thought, I'll also go to the college. But then it was COVID. I had to find reasons to tell my parents that I need to go. So I said, I'm applying for an internship, and I forgot all my certificates in the college itself. I'll have to go right now, otherwise I'll miss the internship opportunity and all. So I booked the tickets. I went. I got back, and I made a video about it. That was the first hit. That's when, like 3 months into the game, nothing worked. After 3 months, I was in the 4th month middle.
That was internship.
Correct.
That video worked out.
After the first, that was the first time about IIT Kharagpur that I made a switch, and the vlog worked. It went to 50,000 views on a 500 subscribers ka channel.
And today, how much do you do on views?
Last 2 days, 400k, as we just talked. But typically around 2 million, 3 million every month. And I post like 3 videos or 4 videos a month.
Awesome. Tell me about your video creation process, right? Because a lot of people are obsessed. I get applications for people who want to work as a video editor, and many of them have like your edited video in their portfolio, right? So tell me about your process. Like, how do you think about a YouTube video? How do you storyboard it? How do you go ahead and shoot, and the editing? Tell me the whole process.
Correct.
And how do you learn it as well? Like, what resources did you use? How did it all happen?
First let's talk about like the process, and then we'll break it down into like where we. So the first step is about the ideation, like what video are we going to make. So this majorly comes into like, if I make 4 videos a month, I'll choose 2 of them should go viral. So I'll predominantly search, we'll go into typical YouTube analytics and all. We'll see what my audience are interested in, what other videos are they making, can I make sub-sequel of the same, or can I make the next part of the same video. So 2 of my monthly video ideas come from there. And the rest of the 2, I'll also want to keep my personal branding sticker on it. So I'll see what I've been doing for like last 1 month or last 1 week or last 2 weeks. Then I'll stitch it with this other 2 videos which I made. So overall, I'll have a 4 video list every single month. And then I'll start with the scripting process. So as I already have like the title and thumbnail which already works, which definitely works.
How do you know that it works?
I mean, there are some things which always work, right? Like,
and how do you know ki ye chalega?
If it works for others, if it works for other audience, other set of audience, other kind of audience, other genre of audience, it also works in this genre. So if one kind of idea, imagine there's a MacBook. Okay, and someone was talking about why you should not take MacBook. These are the 15 reasons, and there's a proper scripting format he has followed. Now you can replicate the same video into your niche, and it will still work. So the major way that you can look into it is like what is working, first thing, and once you know what is working, you collect informations, and then you'll process them to find out a new idea. Like, okay, step 1, this worked, this also worked. Can I make something new out of this? So most of my videos, like I've never seen one of my videos doing less than 100k. Never. Like right when I was at 50,000 subscribers, that was the turning point. I've never seen a video doing less than 100k. I mean, I'm being very overconfident here.
Right.
This can always happen.
Right.
I mean, any video can be like, can do dip, can go up. You can never predict YouTube.
Fugazi.
Correct. It just happened. You just have to throw your video and like we'll have to wait.
Right.
Okay, acha, it chal sakta hai.
It should work.
Might work. But hopefully, not hopefully, gratefully, not even gratefully. What do you say? I should read books.
You don't read books these days?
I don't.
You need to read this one.
This
one will help you go from a YouTuber to a entrepreneur.
I recently received this one of the copies of this book from Ishan itself. So I have to read it, man. But right now, job, YouTube, the course that we started, it's all.
Tell me about video editing. How did you learn it? What common mistakes do you see beginners making?
I predominantly learned it from YouTube itself. So you can also like learn it from YouTube itself. But the major problem here would be like you'll waste a lot of time for searching for the proper resources unless and until you have a good mentor. Otherwise, you can just like take any course, anything.
Like,
works.
what's the roadmap? Like, kya seekhna chahiye? Like, what they need to know. If you can compress it.
Okay, I'll try to do it. So first things first, you can take any course to learn the software. Like the software can be anything. It can be Premiere Pro, it can be
DaVinci,
it can be
Pro.
Final Cut Pro, anything. And then what you have to do is like you have to take a video and you need to try to edit it for yourself. And then you need to identify what types of videos are there. Like there are podcast videos, there are storytelling videos, there are like so there are like 15 set of videos which I have in a list. So then you'll have to see which kind of video is edited in what sense, because a trailer is edited in a completely different format when compared to a podcast. So once you gather the information about all of these things, the next thing is about taking your video and trying it in different ways. So once you try all of these things, your basics will be all right. Now you'll have to focus on pacing, because whatever you do on software, you put so many effects, you put really good designs. It doesn't matter unless and until the pacing of the video is good. And you as a video editor also should, like most of the beginners make this mistake. As a video editor, you need to be very sure if everything which the, some narrator is giving you will be there in the final product or not. For example, if he talks A, B, C, okay, that is the statement which the narrator has given you. You have the entire flexibility to keep it ABC itself, or compress it to AB, or take out middle ka B and just put AC. At the end of the day, if you can connect AC, there's no use of B. So I guess the major task of a video editor is to understand, it's again psychology, it's to understand what is to be present in the final video. It's not about how many effects you throw, it's not about how many music or sound effects that you do. At the end of the day, it's story.
And how can they get better at telling better stories, storytelling tricks?
Like there's no yes or no kind of answer or like a specific answer for it. You just need to be listening to a lot of stories and then try to narrate stories yourself. It comes through practice, I believe. What do you think? I actually want to know, like, how can someone become a good storyteller according to you?
Like, I think that there has to be so there's a normal, you can draw it, right?
Correct.
First of all, you have the set. What do you have in the whole story?
The 3-step narrative, right?
Yeah, exactly. Right. So, but there's also different types of storytelling formats that you can have.
Correct.
For example, the Christopher Nolan version, right? They'll bring something from here, they'll intertwine different storylines.
So basically two stories running at the same time, which have connection in between. So usually people talk about this thing that initially there should be a setup and then kind of conflict and then resolution. So this always works, but this is one of the formats. You can have multiple formats of storytelling. So I guess for someone to get really good at storytelling, they should just listen to a lot of them. Just know a lot of them. It's like playing chess, right?
Did you like Oppenheimer?
It was a great movie. It was actually
editing, like as a video editor or storyteller, if you look at it.
Storytelling was.
मेरे को तो starting के 1.5 घंटे समझ में नहीं आया क्या चल रहा है क्या हो रहा है, and then it started to make sense धीरे-धीरे करके.
It is basically, see, people who watch Oppenheimer, it's not about the bomb, it's not about all of this. Like keeping all of these things aside, it's about a human. It's a philosophy. So that movie, like after I watched it, I just had that in mind for like next one day, like straight. I was just thinking about it. Like,
and then did you watch Barbie?
I did not. I did not.
I watched Oppenheimer in Singapore, and then I came to Delhi and I watched Barbie. So it was like next day Barbie itself.
How was Barbie?
It was pretty fun. Like
it's fun.
Yeah, it was very good.
It's fun. And that's how I learned video editing.
But how do you sell this skill of video editing as a freelancer?
That's a tricky question to ask.
There's one thing, they are very good video editors, but they don't know anything about pitching yourself, pricing, and like creating a portfolio, all of that.
I learned this the hard way. Like when you first pitch a price, people should always be like, that's kind of expensive. So this is also a part of psychology. Like I took a course in psychology, like in college itself, and then I read a couple of books. I'm not an expert, but I'm like a beginner.
That's where all the YouTube magic is coming from. You understand your psychology.
So basically, there's this one thing. Like when you ask a question or when you tell a statement to someone, if the first answer from them is a no, then the next one will more likely to be a yes. So you pitch a price, they'll be like, this is kind of expensive.
And if they say yes directly, then that means that you
messed up.
They'll
be like, I think I could have gone a bit higher.
That has happened to me so many times.
It should either be a steal deal or it should be expensive. And when you pitch someone, the video editing is like very easy to pitch, man. There's nothing in that. Like you should basically have a portfolio a portfolio of like 5 to 6 different videos, different kind of videos. Like there's a mistake like people make where people just have same kind of videos and different. So even if you're doing a job, if you have like freelancing, try to collect different videos that you edited in different spheres. Like a podcast is one type, a storytelling format is one type, a
having
trailer
range
is one type.
in your portfolio.
Yeah, correct. So once you have that, if I'm pitching you, I'll select one of your videos, I'll re-edit it, I'll send it to you. You'll like it, you'll hire me. And then comes about negotiation. You'd obviously want to hire me, so now we'll have to negotiate the prices. I'll tell a price, which will be a no to you. Yeah, obviously. And the way that I'd convince you is like, see, currently, these are the views that you're getting. Whatever it is, at the end of the day, what matters for you as a YouTuber? Like let's break it down. Like, who is a person? If he's a YouTuber, what matters to him is the speed that you're going to deliver the videos, first thing, the quality, and at the end of the day, the views that he's making overall. So you should have a conversion metric. I'll edit the videos for your retention. So maybe you give him a video. You can give it for like A/B testing or something. If the video is doing fairly above his expectations, he'll definitely hire you, whatever the price you say.
Right.
So this was the thing which we were pitching when we got started as an agency. So initially I was just editing videos as like a freelancer and all. With time I thought, okay, this is scalable. So I hired a couple of editors, trained them for like 1-2 weeks, gave them all the resources, then started with a couple of channels. I talked with Eclipse Nova. He was in contact with Ranveer and we took Big Brain Coca video editing. So it's like, this is when you start an agency and all. If you have one good portfolio, like a portfolio of like at least 1 or 2 success stories, you can sell the same success stories to other people.
Right.
So that's what we did, and then we scaled up to 26-27 editors.
Awesome.
And yeah, we had like a lot of problems in that, so we
Entrepreneur Tharun.
Then we had to stop it. Yeah.
Why stop?
Majorly because editors, if you see, when the number of people start increasing in your agency and all, it's very difficult to manage. There'll be a lot of problems, minute problems, which you'd feel, yaar, ye kya chal rahi hai? You wake up to see that this client is not happy, that client is not happy, the clients are dropping.
Operation heavy and
very
expectations
heavy.
And all.
Correct. This comes, I guess like this is true with all the service-based products, but yeah, but I guess agency model, it kind of has like an upper limit,
right.
like a upper cap.
How are you managing your studies and extracurriculars at IIT while doing video editing?
It was fairly easy actually. While people are in college, they wouldn't have a lot of work. I mean, people say ki, oh, my exams are here, my test are here. Like, it doesn't, like, it's not so overloaded. You can still make time. Like, there'd be so many classes where you just go into the class, will not listen to anything that the professor is saying, because I said the professor is just reading out the slides, right? So you can just open your laptop over there, you can do your own work, you can plan something over there, and then you can come out for 15 minutes, do a client meeting, get back to one more class, plan some more thing, like talk to your team on the chat. So all these things are like easily manageable.
Hustle karna padega.
Yeah, very simple. And for the exams and all, you just go to a topper friend with you who has a good notes. You sit for like 2 days, done. You
give him a treat.
You have it. You have 8 point some random CGPA.
What was your CGPA?
It was 8.12. No, 8.21. 8.12 or 8.1.
My CGPA in first semester was 6.0.
Oh.
And then it went to 5.8. Then it went to 5.6. And then I dropped off college.
Good that you.
So that tells. But yeah, it was
mine was 6.64 when I first went. Then it was 7.57 in second. Then it was 7.98. Then it was 8.1. Then it was 8.55. Then it was 9.11.
Areva.
Then it was 9.2. Yeah, so it's like just had a upper curve.
Awesome. How would you like other people to remember you?
I don't know. I don't want to be remembered.
You don't want to be remembered?
I don't want to be remembered. I honestly don't want to be remembered.
Why is that?
I don't know. I'm typically a very introverted person.
You do events like going in colleges and all?
I don't do anything. There are only 2 or 3 times when I got onto the stage. That's for TEDx. And a couple of times when I was invited to IIT Bombay and all. Apart from that, I don't do events. I don't know how people see me outside. But I'm a very introverted kind of personality. I've been trying to come out of it for like last 3-4 years. I'm at a good spot right now where some things I like conserve, something I like, okay. But yeah.
You're here in Bangalore. What do you like about Bangalore?
I don't like anything about Bangalore.
ऐसा क्या है भाई? I thought at least the weather would make up for it.
Weather is good when compared to Kharagpur because Kharagpur is like a very humid place. You sweat a lot. It's irritating every fucking minute. And then the IIT Kharagpur management, the administration, it doesn't allow you to have ACs in your room. So it was very difficult to record videos inside. Like you always keep like sweating. And if you turn on the fan, you know, like
fan की noise आएगी ना.
Yeah. So it was kind of difficult. So the sweet spot was recording videos in the night. So that's what I used to do. Like I used to script and everything in the morning. And but here it's good. In terms of like recording videos, whether roaming out, it's good. But it's just that I don't get enough time working in a full-time job right now. That too in a startup. So I don't know. Haven't explored much in Bangalore. First thing. But based upon the work-life balance that I have right now.
How's the work life? How's the club life?
I mean, I don't know, like I might be wrong, or like someone who's in the comments, like you should go down in the comments and like suggest me what should I do in Bangalore, but I don't know what to do in Bangalore.
Come, I'll take you. After this podcast, we guys will go clubbing.
Yeah, because like majorly like you can go to the pubs in the night, but apart from that, what do you do? Like almost all the shops and everything get closed at like 10
we
PM.
go to Rameshwaram Cafe and chill over there.
So that's what, like there are very limited things that you can do. That's what I feel. Like if you're like staying in like Delhi or maybe not even Delhi, in Hyderabad or something, then I'd say your work life, my life would be bigger when compared to Bangalore. I feel Bangalore is like a place for people to hustle.
What's one message you would have for Tharun at 18? What's your age right now?
I'm 22.
22, same.
Tharun at 18, I would say, one of the major mistakes which I was doing up until last 1 year was when I start something, like maybe if I'm starting a course, or maybe if I'm starting a YouTube channel, or maybe if I'm preparing for a new exam. So I wouldn't know much about it before I actually start to prepare. So if you can, like imagine you're preparing for an exam, or imagine you're like actually going to start a YouTube channel, I guess you should first talk to the people who have already done it, learn from their mistakes and everything, and then get started. This will save you a lot of time while you're preparing. Like imagine you talk to a person and then prepare for the exam, it will take you 2 months, but if you don't, that might take you 4 months, because you'll have to learn from your own mistakes. But in the first case, you'll be learning from other people's mistakes. So that's one of the major things. And rest apart, Tharun back in 18 was also very hustle oriented. So I don't. I mean, he was hustling at that point of time as well, but he was not coming out of his comfort zone. Now I don't give a shit. Like I just talk what I want. Back then it was more like I used to think like if I tell this statement, if I say this statement, what will other people say? What will other people think about me? Now I don't give a shit. So that's one of the major things.
And how did you get into this state? Because when you are 18, right, you are bothered by every little comment and thing that people have to say when you don't have a name of yourself.
Correct.
And now that you do, you don't care about what people say.
Not just that, it's a way that you want to take things. It doesn't matter if you have already made your name or not. People who are just fairly getting started also can come up with this state of mind. Okay, I don't give a shit what you're saying. So at the end of the day, I guess it's about feeling confident about yourself. Like there's this very good quotation, right? Like fake it till you make it. So basically it's like you fake it to others that you're confident, but you're inside actually not confident. After some period of time, you'll realize that you have already become confident without being confident, and you'll forget that you have been faking it out.
Baba Tharun Das, Chanchad.
So there used to be a YouTuber called Sneeko. He got banned.
He had a downfall.
It's not a downfall. It's like he's like taken down. His account is taken down in all the platforms. So he used to be I used to be his fan back in like.
What went wrong with him?
Red pill.
I don't think my audience would know red pill.
People who know, please comment down.
IIK.
Explain it. Yeah. I hope this.
For another podcast.
Yeah, that is it.
सही है, बढ़िया है, बहुत अच्छा लगा बात करके. Guys, that was Tharun Speaks on Limitless with Ishan.
Okay.
What message would you have for the audience who's still watching this video?
I would say just get started with the things that you have in your mind. Don't wait for time. The perfect time would never come. This is the time. You should just get started, because this was one of the huge mistakes that I've done in the beginning. Like, I didn't get started. If I would have started 1 year early on YouTube, we would have been at a different place right now.
Gold पे बटन होता.
So just get started, whatever it is. That's it.
Awesome, बढ़िया. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Share this video with your friends and take a screenshot of this frame and tell what is the one thing that you learned from it.
Your setup looks good. I'm jealous.
Bye.